An apology ahead of this episode, as it is incredibly joke-heavy near the end. It's a coping mechanism, I swear. Why am I coping? Well, you'll see soon enough. This is Natural 9, episode 102, covering Critical Role, episode 102. You know the deal, let's just get right to it. Last time, after a bit of debate, the OGVM headed to Double Hell to face out, hold out, and reach out to the truth of Vecna's bullshit. Then they straight up murder a guy after getting some info out of him. After some deliberations in regards to healing, the party decide to move ahead, Percy and Vex in robes to protect the crew using the sensor thingy. The party makes their way downtown, walking fast, seeming cast and their tower bound, until Grog kinda fucks up their deception, and a big guy walking down the road that Vox Machina do their best to avoid comes up, but thankfully it avoids them. That sensor does a good job. The crew keep going, seeing a ton of undead. Seems like the sheer power of the dark bad is creating undead. Matt Mercer spent $1,700 to get some creepy airline atmosphere, and Pike tries to medicine check her way into some understanding of what these corpses are like. Travis stumbles into a discovery as two flying guys start diving towards them. Vox Machina dive into a building, and Percy barricades that shit. Healith shows off her garden shape ability by becoming a fan to blow some of the sensors' smoke to get those fuckers away. It doesn't do well though, so Scanlan creates a major image of a young Eponine from Les Miserables to get their attention. Some shenanigans later, the party get the fuck out of Dodge. Kiki discovers even more drugs. Kiki and Terry like smoking souls and drugs. Kiki and Terry like smoking souls and drugs. In the sensor, some of the drugs on their face, not the dance thing to be fleek or whatever the kids are saying these days. The crew head further into Scary Town, and they reach a gate. The gate has threshold crests embedded into it, which probably mean that the city and tower can head into the prime material plane soon. Kiki misremembers getting a threshold crest shard from a while back, and the party decide how to get into the tower. Kiki manages to burrow a tunnel, and Matt makes eye contact and rolls a dice! What nefarious purpose does he serve? The crew rush into the tunnel, and the gnomes, being slow, sets off those flying fuckers. Kiki tries to go mouse to BTFO, but the dude is too fast and grabs her. Scambo proves to be so damn clutch, as he dominates Monster. He forces it to drop Kiki, which it does, to tell its friends that there's no more shit to hunt, which it does, and to accept the name Mr. Mistopheles, which it does. The party deliberates on how to use this Mr. M to figure shit out or something, because they don't fucking know anything. They ultimately knock the door and kidnap the guy that answers it. So, the usual. Then they shame him for not blinking properly, and then they rummage through his stuff. Turns out there's a ton of well-made supplies there, which means they're gonna invade. And Laura decides this means it's time to burn the city to the ground. Logistically speaking, that's gonna be very hard. Grog then shakes the piss out of the guy as he lets the guy speak freely. He tells them that people are speeding up and stuff. Also, he clams up as he realizes he maybe spoke too much, and Grog prepares to make an Arnold Palmer out of his head before Pike asks him to lower the guy. She then tries to take away the one comfort the guy had, his necklace of Vecna, which she promises to give back after he answers some questions and Grog's gone and caved in his skull. Wow, man. The crew then take a rest as some of them start flying around to survey as Vax rides Scanlan. Yep, it's finally happened. OTP. After the break, the gnome and the pally search around, and they find 30 or so peeps at the top of the tower, and 3 orbs, as Liam employs the trademark Laura swear. Then the orbs explode or some shit! Those tethers from before to the other spheres? They're gone. Also, a chunk of those guys are gone, and there's a bead of white, and also there's one of those people in a robe that's actually around, and they're walking to the white thing, and Vax and Scambo head down to the rest of the party. Back down below, the rest heal, And then make a wisdom saving throw. Okay, they're fine, I guess. After a long amount of deliberations about what to do next, including maybe knocking down the tower with an earthquake, the party decided to head up the tower with no Heroes Feast active. Then the earthquake idea is revisited and chosen as their next course of action. Holy shit, Vox Machina's Demolition Derby is about to begin. Scanlan uses Mythcarver for the second time in history as he makes a fake arm for his 2 gnomes in a cloak routine. As the party heads in, they meet up with the WWE's resident Make-A-Wish child Tom Phillips, who thinks Scanlan has some kind of debilitating mental illness. After he accurately describes Scanlan, the guy runs off as the group position themselves for the EQ. As they do, the cultists make their way to the rooftops as the sky changes into a brighter, more familiar looking one. And snow falls. Oh god, they're back! Well, wherever they are, it's pretty snowy. Definitely seems like Exandria, though. Pike and Kiki max out their social link as they try to begin their earthquake, but not before a voice calls out. It knows Vox Machina's there. It's always known. It reminds them that others have tried and have died trying, offering them a chance to walk away. Oh, Vox Machina says fuck that, and Pike and Kiki start the earthquake. And it works! A huge crack hits Entropis, and it starts to fall. It fucking worked! Kiki ideas for the win! Well, the top of the tower doesn't bother falling with the rest of it. It was such a great idea, Kiki! The top floats down on its own. The party head forward for their final journey together. Badass slow-mo walk. Huge grog intimidating the cultists away. Vox Machina takes positions. The voice is back, genuinely impressed, and Vex has the perfect response.
You're a dipshit.
The map is brought out, and the one-table setup leads to an epic encounter. Scanlan somehow becomes a beholder with true polymorph as the party gets there, and there's a bunch of really dead cultists, a bitch-face McBitchington, and the Nightmare Knight from the hit Dreamside TV show Punisher Pumice. Oh, also Vecna is there, floating on one of Liam's platforms. The final battle begins.
That's terrible for me too.
Mine too! Laura points out that... The fight begins, and Matt Mercer gets as much heat as Roman Reigns as he looks over his options. Turns out that they really needed that Hero's Feast, as several people make wisdom saves and fail as they are held down by Vecna, paralyzed. Delilah moves, and Scanlan activates his lair action to explode her. I fucking wish. No, instead, she reignites the flames of passion with Vex, as she uses Finger of Death to do absolutely nothing. By that I mean less damage, as Vex natural 20s up in this bitch. Then a bunch of dead people rise and do absolutely nothing except her Kiki. Grog continues to be paralyzed, and the Dark Magician Knight casts Dark Burning Attack to deal 70 fire and curse damage to some peeps. Pike does what she does best, and Vax stays paralyzed. Percy then crits on 19 now that he's a level 18 fighter, except it doesn't matter because holy shit, non-magic damage does nothing to Vecna. Thankfully, he burned Cabals on that attack to at least do something. Percy then takes another Saren Ray-sponsored shot at Delilah. This reveals that Delilah has a slit eye. Then Scambo breaks out of the power, and Marisha briefly turns into Ashley Johnson as she walks up to Delilah and mind-fires her with Contagion. Which is a bunch of bullshit, but it works in this case because spells are dumb, I guess. Not getting into that whole debate. Vecna Yoshishito decides to monologue instead of casting Fireball for a somewhat reasonable amount of damage. Laura tries to compliment the DM, so then he just rocks falls, Vex dies that shit. No, seriously, Vecna just says die and Vex just dies. I think that's just one more death until she gets a free sub. Lesson learned, don't compliment maps. Then Marisha loses her second encounter with the tag team of Chairs and Gravity as Delilah overcomes her confusion to attempt to get revenge on Keyleth for taking Silas away from her as she disintegrates Vax. Literally. As in, he's not coming back, yo. At least, not the way the Pike can do it. Oh wait, Scanlan just counterspells that shit, okay. And then Kiki tries to hit her back with a stick. Grog then wrecks Delilah Briarwood's life, and then he burns his own action surge as he continues to destroy her. That's 142 damage in one move for the folks at home. Then he gets banished to the Shadowfell for his trouble. Thankfully, Kiki seems to notice that DK, not Donkey Kong, DK, Donkey Kong isn't here, is still concentrating. Ashley has flashbacks to the Bash at the Beach match at Liam's Game Takeover Full Circle, and Vecna completes what Delilah couldn't, as Vax actually disintegrates, this time for real. For those of you playing the home game, that's 3 of Vox Machina either dead or gone. 4 left! Pike prepares to do what she does, and Percy gets his second hitty-witted on Delilah Briarwood as he says "Worf" while her head explodes. That creepy eye still looks at him as she goes down, and continues to look at him. It's fucking creepy. Then he does everything he can to break the Death Knight with Animus and action surges, with not even the natural 20 damage managing to break concentration. Fuck! Scambo manages to get Pike to Vex, and Vex is back. For now. Scambo rolls a Vax joint as Pike heals Vex.
Justice reigns from above!
As Kefera firestorms the shit out of... Oh, he just counterspells that himself. Oh, great, yeah, that's cool. Matt, why are you trying to kill your children? Vex taunts Vecna again and earns a thankfully missed Firebolto for her trouble. Meanwhile, Terry weeps because his Are My Friends Dead necklace is vibrating. Thank you for breaking my heart, Samuel Charles Regal. And then, as if you didn't need any more heartache, Matthew Mercer attempts to kill Ashley Johnson live on Twitch.com as Vecna tries to power word Mercerize Pike. But Scanlan says, fuck that shit, as he uses a 6th level counterspell. Wait, what's that? He rolls a natural fucking 1? Okay, you just like to make me feel like shit, that's it. Well, what a fucking terrible thing to say. Oh god, you really did, didn't you? Thankfully, it wasn't power word death, it was only a finger of death. She's still alive. Meanwhile, in the Shadowfell, Grog is all alone. He frenzy wins and does fuck all else. And then DK, Donkey... No more of that! The Death Knight smacks Scambo, and Vex finally gets a turn. 1 potion and 1 brazen bramble shot later, concentration is broken on the Dark Knight's spell, and Grog is back, bitches. Vex then realizes her brother isn't around, and Pike tells herself that she's hot as she heals everyone. Then she's actually physically hot as she gets disintegrated, but then her Time Lady blood kicks in and she regenerates! Kept the face though, vanity issues, what with the calling herself hot. Percy grabs the corpses of Delilah and pushes the Dark Knight back, then Scanlan literally shoots lightning from his ass. Vecna can't hit anyone with the Firebolto. Marisha thinks about Amy and Rory Pond for some reason, she did say pretty ponds, and she tries to plane shift them to the Feywild, which Vecna instantly counterspells, to which Scanlan resolves the chain by using his own counterspell. Then the plane shift takes, and the episode ends, as Matt says that there will be some discussions in regards to Max's resurrection? And those heartbreaking words from Vex as the session proper ends. Where's Vax? Vax! Why? Vax, why'd you do the Croc and Vax? Oh my god, almost done! I think you got your game planned out to the TM 2 steps ahead. 7 to my way, stand out. It's a trap, 1 more step, and you're dead. You're dead.